All right. Hey, good evening. Welcome, welcome. I'm so excited you're here, and I'm excited for tonight to finally finish our finale, our third in the series of closing the strategies that your upline didn't tell you. And so with that, I just got a text from Deepo. He will be joining us. We're going to do this together. It's going to be a half an hour, jam-packed, with the things we didn't get to tell you the last couple of times, because there is so much to learn and know. And I know that you're going to be surprised at some of these things because you've been taught completely different. We're in a world that's changing, and we can surely count on that. And with the internet and with the information era or age ending and moving into the connection age, we've got to stay on top of it, right? And some of those things that change are going to continue to change. So I guess what I'm saying is I hope that you've come with an open mind, also with a notebook and a pen handy for you to write notes. I know I actually have my pen and paper here because Deepo always teaches me, and we can absolutely learn from each other. I was working before it came online to set up the question and answer page, and I haven't quite figured that out yet, but I will. And through our struggle, and as you know, if you lift weights or if you've done anything with resistance, that makes us stronger. So I'll learn, and we'll get that going one of these times. Each time we come on Thursdays, it's going to be 5:30 to 6, so it's not a huge, long period of time. So we do want to fill it up with just gobs of stuff. So I'm actually, tonight, you're going to see me looking down because I really want to watch the time. I don't want to waste any of your time, and I want you to be able to get filled with lots of good things that you can apply to your business, to your life, and move forward in a really positive, prosperous way. So a little bit about me, because you're probably wondering, you know, who is this, and why should you be listening to me at all, right? My name is Lori Sunathurda, and I have my website called majesticmastery.com, and my belief is that you have majestic within you. So gosh, if you're gonna listen to my story, you might just go, hey, I don't even click with her, so I'm gonna get off. But I hope you'll stay, regardless of whether you click with me, but to learn the actual strategies that we're going to teach. Anyway, we are infinite beings having an earthly experience while we're here in this short time, but we absolutely deserve abundance, and I believe every single one of us has the opportunity to live the purpose. We are here for a reason, and that reason is sure, and it's our own unique individual purpose here on the earth. And my guess is, from what I learned, it seems to me to be that your purpose connects with people in one way or another, because we're not here to be an island or be alone, right? So I started off, I think back to high school. I think back to even younger than that, and I really, really thought, as my parents talked about different things in life, a lot of it was scarcity mentality. A lot of it was we can't afford this, and no, we won't go there, or whatever. I remember thinking in my heart and mind that won't be me, that one day I'll be in a better place, and I'll be able to speak to millions of people and just teach them, and they'll just be happy, and they'll change their lives because of it. And as a little kid, I remember even thinking that. So my first thought as a kid was to be a teacher. So I went into that field and quickly moved into coaching. And I loved being in the fitness, and I started out swimming pools. So even as a 15, 16-year-old, I was teaching swim lessons and aerobics in the water and being around the pool, and a lot of people, a lot of kids. I really love kids. So I stayed in that nutrition industry, gosh, for 21 years. Loved it. I still do. But I found that for me, I could not work enough hours. I knew that I had to make a choice. And even as I looked at purchasing fitness centers, it just didn't feel right. It didn't resonate with me. So but I knew that a job wasn't going to work for me either. So I went into nutrition, and I ended up finishing with a degree in nutrition and personal training. And still, there was something that just wasn't clicking. Nothing was resonating. I think because I've discovered now that I'm unemployable when it comes to the job. So I do have a job right now, yes, and it's my every intention to make this my life goal, continue in my purpose, which is being online and being around the world talking to great people and helping to inspire and motivate them to live their purpose, and to bigger than that, to be free, because in order to live our purpose and to live the reason we're here, we have to be free. And a lot of times psychologically that means, mostly psychologically, we've created limitations for ourselves, and so we need to free ourselves before we can move on, right? So if I could give you any information tonight as far as creating greater closing strategies, the numero uno would be, are you free? Have you gotten rid of limitations? Because what I found was, the first couple of years I started in the entrepreneurial world, and online especially, I was doing and I was taking massive action. I was meeting lots of people. I figured out networking was crucial and key to moving forward. But I also discovered that there were many things that were holding me back. And that is something that I think we have Depot coming on. Cool. And those things that were holding me back were my own self. So we might touch on that a little bit tonight, but for sure we want to get right through this 30 minutes and give you tons and tons of jam-packed things that you can learn and use in your life. But I see Depot's here, and so yay, I'm so glad we did it. We got on. It's 5:36 and we're rolling. Welcome. Go ahead and introduce yourself, and though this is part 3, for some this will be like a repeat, but I think it's a great place to start, to tell us a little about yourself. Give us your story, and I just have to tell you before Depot speaks that right here is a man that can show you the ropes. He's been in the trenches. He's been working, doing this, and having great success. Not only that, but he's just amazing, positive, encouraging. I've known him now, gosh, I think maybe it's been 4 years. Have we known each other that long? I don't know.
No, 3 years.
I think, did we meet in Seattle?
Yeah, Seattle, yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a while. That's awesome. And so I've learned that you're a family man, you're a positive, and you have an advancing personality, meaning that for those of you who haven't heard that before, he continues to progress in his self-development. He continues to want to become better. He has an attitude of being better and better every day, and I just love that. I love being around him. He's very disciplined. He's very just top notch is all I can say, and I just appreciate you, and I thank you for being here, Depot. So take it away.
Oh, wow. Lori, thank you so very much. I'm just so excited that I'm here. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. I was chomping at the bit when I got started, but then as you started the introduction, I was like, oh my goodness, who is she talking about? So I just want to appreciate you, Lori. You are also a phenomenal woman that I'm privileged. From the depth of my heart, I am truly privileged to align with you, to join forces with you, to work with you, because you are definitely a true leader, one that people deserve to work with, one that people deserve to know.
Uh-oh. You froze. Oh no. Okay, I hope Depot comes back, because he's gotten froze on the line there. Isn't technology wonderful? Thank you, Depot. Well, I hope you'll come back. I don't know if it's my computer or the I guess it wouldn't be mine, or I wouldn't be able to talk to you, huh? Maybe it's his connection and he has to get off and get back on. I'm not sure. But, boy, I could tell you a little bit about Depot, maybe some of his story. He's an incredible man. He's read the book just like me, but, he read it and changed his life extremely. The book is, I'm a little bit out now, because I'm like, oh no, what do we do? This is like, he's gone, he's frozen, he's still frozen there, huh? We've both read the book by Robert Kiyosaki, and it's not the cash flow one, but it's the quadrants. And but I think he'll tell you a little about that. It looks like he's gotten off. Maybe he's going to get back on again and come through with that. But technology, it just is, that's just the way it is. So it's like weather, it's different, okay? And I'm not going to say it's bad weather or it's bad technology. I'm just going to say it's different and leave it at that. But yeah, this book, it talks about the different quadrants that you should be on. And he and I were both raised opposite of that. Matter of fact, we didn't even know that rich people thought differently than the middle class and the poor, and we just didn't know. And so we started to realize that we were on the wrong side of the quadrant, and that's what he did too. Anyway, he's gone through a lot in his life with, I know he's done real estate. I know he's gone through a lot of ups and downs, but a lot of successes as well, and has an amazing father who also told him to surround himself with positive people, to come from, to come into the U.S. from a very hot climate into a very cold climate, and then to feel all alone. I mean, no one else, and he was all he was all on his own. So, but to go from that point and be so persevering and to continue to have great successes and strides, he and I both found a mentor and a system. And both of our mentors are different. Well, of course, some of our mentors along the way have been the same as well. But he found a mentor and a system, and that was the key, is to have all the pieces in one place is really important. And we both found that having a system that works for you, like building a pipeline from the water to your home so that all you need to do is turn that on and you have your water. That's what it means to have pipeline prosperity. And this is what Kiyosaki teaches, and a lot of others that are out there that are on the really successful or abundant side of the quadrant. And I don't think that, I think about that for a minute there, and I thought, well, maybe you're thinking in your mind, well, I'm not somebody going after the money. But the reality is if you have a business, if you're online talking to us now, and especially if you come to this call about closing, then you understand that in order to continue to build your business, that money does have to come, and that's how we generate a living. That's how we stay alive. It doesn't mean that we focus on the money, but at the same time, I know for Depot and I, we've learned that having a clear goal of what we want financially, including an amount that we want, is crucial to having that confidence and moving forward. And especially knowing from Sharon Lechter, who wrote Think and Grow Rich for Women, from Napoleon Hill, who wrote the Think and Grow Rich, the original copy, that if we absolutely have almost an obsession towards money for what we can do with it, for what it will create for our lives, for how it will help us feel, for what it will help us do and become, is why we're in the process of building and creating and making a clear goal, whether it's $10,000 a month, whether it's $3,000 recurring income a month. I know for me, that was all I wanted. I just knew that if I could create this $3,000 a month income, that I would be free. I'd be able to be free. And so it wasn't this huge, grandiose, huge amount of 10 or 20,000. But that is a possibility. And as you create clarity and then have that occur, you start to realize that, yes, it is possible, and that abundance is there for all of us. I believe for every single one of us on the face of the earth, there should be no poor among us. And I know that if you're a scripture reader, if you understand that, it does say there will always be poor among us. But I really don't believe that was God's plan. I don't think He's telling us there will be poor among us forever because it's His plan. I just don't believe that at all, because there are too many other scriptures that tell us opposite of that. That He desires for us to have abundance and to have joy abundantly. And so it's the choices we make, because He will not force us. We have free agency here. So I believe in that very strongly too. So because of that, there will always be poor among us. But you know what? I cannot help those around me. I can't lift them. I can't set a good example to them as much as I can when I have an income that has created freedom enough for me to step up and share and give and do the things that I really desire to do to help those around me. I hope you're in that same boat too, because I know it makes a huge difference in you getting out of bed in the morning, being excited if you have a clear goal. Maybe you can even tell, I know from my last videos, I've finally gotten clear, even more clear, and I've realized that I've had to go ahead and make that statement, not just morning and night, but sometime during the day a few times too. And whatever it takes, I'm telling you, whatever it takes. And as soon as you start to click that through and it sinks in, you get excited, and you just jump out of bed each morning. So I don't see Depot coming back on, and I want to get right into this because we're at gosh, we don't have a whole lot of time. So let me just say that if you're thinking of closing and somebody told you that it has to do with the amount of numbers that you speak to, as far as how good you close, how many people you close, it's not true. I'm telling you right now, I was blown away to find out it's just not true. It's not about the numbers. And the other thing, and you may laugh at this, but the other thing, it's just not true, but you may have been told that that it's what you say. It's absolutely what you say that makes all the difference in the world. And it's just not. I can guarantee you that as well. And so what we're going to shift in these next 15 minutes is to help you to understand that it's not about the amount of people, and it's not about the things that you say, but more importantly, it's about two major big things. I've brought it down to two. I'm not sure what Depot has as far as, I've narrowed it down. I tried to concentrate it because I know we have just a short amount of time, but when you really narrow it down, it comes down to catching these people that resonate with you, are looking for what you have in the right part of the funnel at the right time, and the right time in their life. So, and making the point to close at that time. Timing is really everything, and the people that you're meeting. I know for me it was years ago. The business that I was in was about making phone calls, and I needed to make at least 100 calls a day. And listening to the inner circle, which we have in the company that Depot and I are in, is just amazing. It's an evergreen library of 6 and 7 figure earners telling you about what isn't working and what's working for them. And a lot of them have shared the same story of making those calls, or walking around in Walmart, or putting out flyers on cars, or those kinds of things that just don't work anymore. And the reality is you're sifting through the numbers. And I remember seeing, I used to do it myself. Another company that I was in, I was a leader, and I had a group, and I would train them. And part of it's true when I talk about, a deck of cards, and I would flip through the cards and say it's a number thing. And when are you going to get the joker? And the joker's I should actually change that to the king or the aces, because the jokers you want to just toss out, right? But those are in there too. And you've got people that just aren't interested, that don't get it, that don't want to get it. And then you've got people that are just truly resonate with you. They see the value in what you have. It works for them, and they're ready, and they're able to step into that. And but again, the stack of 52 cards is what you're going to go through. Well, guess what? You could narrow that card deck down by having the right deck, and that doesn't quite fit with what I'm talking about. I hope it makes a little more sense, but getting to the right people is just key. If I'm out calling 100 people a day, like cold calling, the chances of me meeting up with people that, I may talk to a ton of people that maybe their interest has nothing to do with what I'm involved with. If I'm talking about maybe a law of attraction, or if I'm working with a printing company, or maybe I have a restaurant, it doesn't help for me to even move forward to people that aren't actually looking for that industry, or for that item, or for that product. So we've talked about that in other hangouts that we've done. And as far as targeting, you want to reach your target market. You want to have an avatar, so that you've got to be clear on that. Who are you going to be talking to? And it seems to me that the best avatar for you is yourself. You want to meet like-minded people that are think like you, that are looking for things like you, that want to move forward like you, that can learn from you, and you can learn from them. And so creating that clarity in the target market that you're looking for is key. But okay, so you've reached the right part of the funnel, and you've got your right timing, and it's right for them. They've got their credit card there. They're ready to get going, and you'll still run across some issues. And some of these closing things that you've heard before are, you'll talk to somebody that just says, I've got to talk to my wife, I've got to talk to my dog, I need to talk to my doctor to see if my cholesterol is on the right level, my blood pressure is in the right place so I can join her, all those kinds of things. And I think the best way to handle that is just to say, hey, honestly, what's holding you back from getting started? And a lot of times they, do you really need to talk to your spouse, or are you just trying to keep me, is the answer really no, you're not interested at this time? And that's perfectly okay to do. I know it might feel uncomfortable, but you can totally step into that, and they will be relieved too. And sometimes you'll hear, yeah, I absolutely need to just talk to my spouse. And sometimes you'll hear, no, I'm just really not interested. What a great deal. Isn't it wonderful to be honest and just move on? And that doesn't happen as much when you're in that proper funnel, in the proper timing and stuff like that. That doesn't happen as much, but it still can happen. So, and the timing just isn't right. And there's where your autoresponder comes in, right? Staying in touch with them, whether it's Facebook, staying connected with them if they're interested, but it's just not the right timing. Let's see, another thing that I was thinking of too that's just crucial that you've got to add in, and we've got about 10 minutes left too, so is understanding that people, and this is a big one, and I think that the world is taking a hold of it and figuring it out. That the reality is people don't buy your product, they really buy you. And that when they learn your story and they learn about you, it sets the business and you together, and people start to resonate with you. I know for me, I've got a few people that I'm connected with that I'm subscribed to, and and those people, those people make a difference in my life, and I know a lot about them. I've learned a lot about their families. I've learned a lot about what jazzes them up, what their passion is. I know a little bit about some of the hobbies they have, which is pretty cool too. And you just, when you start to build that rapport and have that connection, then your closing is going to be a lot easier as well. You're going to make some, you're going to have some people that are just going to step up, and they're going to want to buy from you. They're going to want to be a part of what you're doing. And a lot of times it just really doesn't matter about that product as much as it matters about you. I'm not saying that product doesn't count, because we all know that yes, it does. But first and foremost, as far as closing goes, it starts from the very moment you step up to the plate and you talk to these people and you start to get connected. And what is it? Stories, facts tell, and stories sell. It's a quote that's out there. It's something that's that's true, and people love to hear your story. And in that first 5 minutes that you're connecting with somebody, is where the closing actually, that's where it is. So to tell somebody all the facts, a lot of times, again, I'll refer to myself, and my experience was going back and just telling the facts about the company and the facts about the product and the ingredients and not even so much the benefits. I learned about benefits later, and then I started to tell about the benefits. And you have those kinds of things, and people want to know about you, not the facts about the company and the grandma in the company and that kind of thing. So, hey, Deepo, I see you're back. I got to tell you, I shared a little bit about you. Yeah, I thought you'd come right back, but I'm so glad to see you. I shared about the book, because I kind of could relate. A little bit of your story as far as recognizing that we're on the wrong side of the quadrant, and that wealthy people think differently than we did at the time. So, and then I also talked about your father, because I've learned enough about you to know your father is an amazing man and a mentor to you, and helped you to know that you needed to get you needed to surround yourself with really amazing people and find a mentor yourself. And then I finished up by talking about how both of us have found that when you have a system and you have a mentor, that you can go places, you can make things happen, and that's really, it's like, and I talked about a little bit about like the pipeline. You build the pipeline from the water to your home, and you can just turn the faucet. And when you have a system and you have a mentor, then you're good to go, and you can build that pipeline of prosperity. So, do you want to say a little bit more now that you're on?
Wow, I just want to say that you are amazing. I mean, you really are amazing. I mean, the fact that you can just tell my story already, I'm really I'm really impressed. It just shows you just what an amazing leader you are, really, and sincerely from the depths of my heart. And that's because you are someone that listens and someone that takes notes, and I really appreciate you for that. So thank you. But yeah, that is really the bottom line is when you're connected to a system and a mentor that can help you to get to move in the right direction, to help you cut the learning curve, then you are better off. Then you avoid all the pitfalls, you avoid all the dangers that are on the way to your success. Because trust me, yeah, there are challenges, and people have been stuck in the challenges, and people have found themselves in the jungle. It's like a rhino going through the jungle all the way onto the paradise. But then some do not have enough skin in the game to be able to overcome all those challenges to get to that paradise. But like, that's why we are here, is to make a stand for everyone listening, to help them to understand that we can help them to avoid all those pitfalls. We can be the surround for them to help shield them even from all the attacks, and to help hold and lift them up, to help them get to where they need to go. So I'm really excited, and I see that you've already been sharing ideas really that people can begin to use to close in their business, and I think that's powerful. And just as I was coming in, I believe you were sharing about people being real. I mean, you being authentic, you being you being yourself, and I believe that's true, because that's what everyone really wants to see. Everyone wants to. Everyone would rather watch a reality show, right, than all those shows that are not, pretty much. I mean, people would rather sit down and watch where someone is being emotional and crying because they did not lose the weight they thought they were supposed to lose, or maybe they did not just give it their all, or they just fell short of what they had planned to do. People want to see the emotion. People want to see the fact that they are real people, and that's really who we are. We are real people. Just like a leader will say, if you cut us, we'll bleed, right? Well, of course, don't bring a knife to come and cut us because uh, uh, because we are here for you, and I believe that's really what we're trying to say, is that if you want to be able to close people, you want to be real and authentic to them, and you want to be open to them enough to bring them in. And I think that's really what's key in closing. Really, it's building that rapport, and the rapport is the responsiveness. It's a responsiveness that's going to allow people to say, "Wow, man, Lori is just like me." I mean, Lori has gone through the journey. I mean, she's gone through all the challenges, and she's made it to being a leader that inspires and impact other people. I want to be like her. I want to walk the Lori journey, and then people like, just like that. People will want to align with you and just say, "Wow, if this person could have gone through all these challenges, right? I want to align with such a person." And I think that's really what is key in closing, right? Is you being open to others enough that people will say, "Wow, you're a real person that I want to work with." So, yeah,
Yeah.
not you.
Cool, very authentic. And I think the other thing, Depot, you're talking about being authentic and being real, and and us having been there. I think that's what I was sharing while you were trying to get back on, that there are a lot of things that we've gone through, and so we know what doesn't work. But even better than that, we're connected. And I talked a little bit about the inner circle and
Mm,
how we're connected to 6 and 7 figure earners that have been even out there in the trenches longer and are way more successful than us, and are willing to share that information so that we know where we, they're guiding us and leading us so that we miss the landmines, if you will. We're not, and we're shortening the amount of time for that learning curve, And so, though there will be bumps in the road, and there will always be, struggle and challenges, and if you thought they would just not be there, then entrepreneurship probably isn't for you, because there's going to be that struggle. And for any victory, if you've read any book, if you've watched Rudy, if you've seen the new movie Unbroken, if you've, and actually the book's really good too, by the way, a lot different from the movie. Anyway, that you'll find that the same similar thing occurs with victory, and that is there's always the struggle and the perseverance and then the victory. And there's the dream first. I must mention that too, like I was talking in the beginning about being clear, but there's the dream and the clarity, then comes the struggle, perseverance, and victory. So if you know that's the formula for success and you want to be in this environment, then you're in the right place at the right time. And we do. Deepo and I both love to serve, love to help people. I love to see people succeed, and I like to see them live their purpose. I was talking about that earlier, whether it was in my earlier life, so to speak, helping people to become healthier and more fit, or whether now it's all the above. It's all those different things that we can help people to succeed at in their wealth and their health and all the above. So I love who Deepo is, and if you resonate with him, I think just get on in. Actually, and it's already time, huh? We have an actual training to get to right now, and it's a really big one tonight. It's a great one. It's Lawrence Tam, and he's going to be on with a new couple that are having great success. We've got people that are just really doing well because we have a system with steps that step by step shows you how, and it's a formula that's been proven now. It's just been, people have been having great success, and so we've got a new couple on tonight on that training call that's going to talk to us about that. So if you decide to get with us right now, you can immediately get right onto that call. Actually, you can get on that call, so we need to figure out a way to give them a link, Deepo. It's like, because I can't put the button down below right this minute to push and just get on the call. But,
what we can do is, on Facebook. Lord, do you have your
Facebook open?
Yes. Well, I was actually going to say, why don't you look for Lori on Facebook? Look for Lori or myself on Facebook, and we'll have the link. If you go on any of our Facebook pages, you have the link to the training. I mean, a phenomenal training. You want to search for Lori on.
I've got it here on my phone too. What it was.
It's such a long link, and maybe
it is. But there's a name for it, so they could almost look up the event. I was thinking. But I don't. It was just right on the face of my phone. It scrolled off. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, I think it might just be.
Oh, here it is, right here. Okay, Thursday, April 7th. What are they calling it? Oh, where'd it go? Here it comes. They're calling it something. Live webcast with Lawrence T. and special guests. So it's just got like this. Does that show up on there? Thursday, you'll see a yellow sign in the Facebook that's like Thursday webcast and Power Network Thursday webcast. So if you go into Facebook, you can get on that way.
Okay. So, yeah, you can do that. Or like we said, you can just go to Lori's page or my page. We will have the link to the page to it, so we don't even have to worry about searching for. So Lori, it's Lori. Lori Sue, and Nethada, Netherda.
Awesome.
So just go search for her. so just go type it up and search for her on Facebook. Connect with her. Be a friend on Facebook. If you're not a friend with Lori on Facebook, I can't imagine why you're not a friend of Lori. I mean, wow. Oh my goodness.
You're awesome.
So you absolutely deserve to be a friend of Lori. Number one, be a friend of Lori, and number two, click on the link that she's gonna have on her page that shows you how to get to the all access Thursday training. I mean, phenomenal training. Or you can also search for myself, Dipo or Dipo, and last name Lashore. So
Yep.
just search for us on Facebook. We'll have the link there, and just go right there, click on the link, and you'll have access to the training. Or if you're looking at on this on our blog post, we'll probably have a link on our blog post that shows where you can go for the Thursday training that will help you in your own network marketing business. That's all we're doing, taking a stand for you to help you to build your business, right? And we believe you deserve to be successful. So Lori, I'm excited about our training that we're about to get on right now.
All right. Well, I will say over now to you guys. Live with abundant joy, and I wish for you to live a purpose-filled life and move forward. And we hope to see you again soon. And yeah, we'll look for you in Facebook. We'll talk to you again. Bye. Oh, I clicked the wrong button.